Someone swatting fleas there.
Oh,
G'day,
we got gnats.
Oh, have you? Did you bring them over from here, did you? I've packed them in your suitcase.
You didn't need to. We have plenty in this area. We've had rain and then it just heated up, so that just brings them out. Anyhow, we're on. Bye.
G'day, everybody. How are we? G'day. Well, you want to see the football field across the road. They've actually cleaned it all up and they had the grass cutters in there, and the last 2 weeks they had it all looking all nice and spick and span. So yeah, it's been good. So we're gonna say a quick hello to everybody. Monzo, g'day, buddy. Heading out to the hobby shop shortly. Oh, bugger. I forgot to give him the shopping list there, Anthony. Wigwag Workshop, how are you, buddy? Welcome. I haven't seen you for a while. Todd Armstrong, Trackside, how are you, buddy? Welcome. Tammy and Ray, how are we? Randall Ellison, how are you, buddy? Hopefully you're getting better. Hopefully you got rid of those kidney stones. They're a bug of a thing. Thomas, how are you, buddy? Yes, I just saw that news. Condolences to the family of Roy Smith. Another good modeler passed away. Thoughts and prayers with the family. Jean Ricard, good evening to you, sir. Hopefully you're doing well.
He's up late.
Yeah.
It's 2 a.m.
Yeah. You must be having sleeping problems like what I am. Can't sleep. Which has been a problem for me. Dwight Curley, how are you? Thank you for that great post that you put up for Roy Smith. That was really great of you. Very nice. Thank you. Grandpa Rails, JD, how are you? Welcome in here. We've got Valley 56. How are you, buddy? Welcome. And in those who are lurking in the background, welcome to the Wacky Weekend. What can go wrong? Anything's possible after the big wreck I had here on Wednesday with the Americans shunting the little German onto the turntable and destroying the turntable. Oh, geez, that wasn't nice. You missed that one, Anthony. Or did you get it? But that little engine, I'll tell you, that little shittabus, as they call it in Europe, sleeping, I have nightmares on YouTube trying to wake up. Oh, that's the worst, John. All jokes aside, that's bad. I've been going through a lot of that for the last 4.5, getting close to 5 years, and I've had that really bad this last 2 weeks too. So I sympathise with you, Sean. Not fun.
He's just being silly there. He actually is sleeping. We're just part of his nightmare.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get it. So that little shitterbus, it's like an old German that needs to be warmed up before it will behave itself.
Normally I misbehave when I get warmed up. Oh, I'm sorry, PG-13. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's not PG-13. It's adults only.
NC-17.
Hey, yeah,
nothing.
Right. Mature audience only. But I mean, are we mature? No. So yeah, I've got to get her warmed up before she will perform properly. I've actually got it running nicely last night, with a bit of tinkering here and there. But yeah, she needs to be warmed up a little bit. I have done some work on a layout, believe it or not. All the block detectors. Yeah.
Shocked I am.
Yeah, big shock, yeah.
The only thing would be more shocking if I worked on mine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, your passages are nearly as bad as mine. They either can't get to the station and they can't get on the bus or the train. They got to walk everywhere. But at least your people have got the benefit. They actually got sidewalks and streets to walk on. Mine don't.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. So all the
Of course, I don't know. Being a passenger on my trains is dangerous because you get part of your legs cut off.
Well, that's true. So have you got them all their wheelchairs yet or not?
No, I haven't been able to raise any. I keep asking for donations to buy wheelchairs for the little buggers, but nobody's donated.
Make a crocodile children with your high whiz jacket. No, Valley. G'day, Eric. How are you, buddy? Welcome. Cole Stevens, how are you, champion? So I managed the main station scene up the top here. I finally finished doing all the block detections on it. It was a bit of a chore. I had to sport. Yeah, don't flick that switch. Don't flick that switch. It might blow up. So now
I'm a natural button pusher.
Yeah. You know
My
what
mom
happens?
used to say all the time, I pushed her buttons, so you know.
Yeah, you know what happens when you push the wrong one, don't you? You think you got bang. So yeah, it's all the main light, all the tracks and the sidings, they all got block detection, so the automation can run on all the tracks up the top here. So that's done. So how you been, Anthony? Hopefully you've been well this week.
Yeah, I think overall I've been okay. Just little weird week. Of course, my grandson had his first week of preschool today, and so that gives me Tuesdays and Thursday mornings free now, because I pick them up at 12:30 instead of getting them anywhere between 8:30 and 9:30. So I have the Tuesdays and Thursdays morning free, so I have a little more free time. A little bit worried about how he's going to adjust, but he seems to be adjusting really well. So he had a good week. He was very excited. His mom said Thursday he ran into the school. He just couldn't wait to get in there. So that was that. Joyce went back to work. So the last Thursday and Friday, I've actually been back to having the house to myself.
Yoo-hoo!
I don't know if it's yoo-hoo. I mean, I have more free time because when Joyce is here, we get up and we do running almost every day. And then there's stuff we do. We go play tennis most days or go for walks and ride our bikes or whatever. We're active through the summer. And now that she's going back to work, now it's just sort of all of a sudden the house is empty. I mean, call me crazy. I like having her around. I can't wait till she retires, but she's going to try to go 3 more years.
G'day.
Let's stop the presses. I am here.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. That sounds good, Valley. But
that's cool, Chris.
I've got a few more things coming shortly. It's just more free time to make it.
Somebody's making a reference to a video of ours.
Yeah.
More time to make my own sandwich. Yep, I am making my own sandwiches.
Yep. Well, now you got more time to build that deck up the front. I reckon it'd be nice to have a deck up the front, put a couple of chairs on there during the summertime.
You have to get a permit. In the back, I don't have to permit a deck, but in the front yard, we have to get it permitted, and I don't want to go through all that hassle. But anyhow, Dundas James is here. James Galton.
Yeah.
So James Galton is here. And hello to everybody else.
Yeah, they haven't completely left Jean Ricard. They haven't completely gone. But, yeah, I have got a couple more stuff coming. I've just got to get them intercepted before they get delivered to their rightful address. You know me, I'm always full of fun. But yeah, I've got my new Austrian inner city carriages running. It was very, very nice. I'd like to get myself another set, another engine to go with it. I tell you what, they a Mickey Mouse looking carriage. I'll actually show it to you before they before I run them. Yes, I've been looking at the videos, the Austrian videos with the rail jets and that. And
you just photocopy my trains anymore and then go buy them.
But one set that I see was quite common, and they did run into Hungary, which is getting close. Hang on, wait a minute. Is that the second class?
Yeah, this one is second class.
You're the bastard that pinched it.
Right, because you were going to buy American 3 rail. We're going to have this argument again and again and again. I couldn't have pinched it because this is American 3 rail. You're not going to buy American and you're not going to buy 3 rail.
G'day, Andy Dobson. Hey,
Andy Dobson, how are you?
Second class, I cannot get enough of them. Hang on, Artie, I'd like to see that 44 class come out of the shed. Which 40? My 44 class.
There's a first class.
Yeah, I've got the. Yeah, that's like this one.
Yep. Now, which company is yours?
Roco.
That is Roco. I'm trying to remember. I think this one is the Roco as well. So this is the same one. Just you've got the DC the 2 rail version.
Yeah. Luckily enough, they do run in a 3-car set. I would like to do it in the 4-car set as they do down in the Hungary and down the Serbian border. Because I've actually seen videos of them running down that far. So that's the biggest reason why I'm getting them. Marty, how are you?
Hey, there's Marty again. Howdy, Marty.
But I'd like to get another set. So I've got 2 sets. One running down, another one running up.
And there's my American first class.
I suppose it will be easy enough.
But you can see the difference. The Roco is true scale. The Roco one is true 187, and then the American is 195.
Okay. Let's get the tape measure out.
Every now and then, Roco releases some in true scale. Most of their rail jets and their ICs are true scale.
Well, this one I doubt very much. This one I doubt very much is true scale.
Really? Because I would assume it's. Well, hold it up here. Let's measure it.
Well, going by centimeters, it's 27 point.
That sounds about right.
26.4.
Okay, so yeah, yours is 195 or 1/100 scale.
Yeah, between buffer and buffer. Andy, how are you? Room for one more? There's always room.
Yeah,
so it is a smaller size, and
buffer to buffer. This one's 30. This one's over 30.
Yeah, because when you look at a comparison to the Pico one, it's the same size, but it's a nice size for my layout. Particularly down in one of the sidings.
Mm-hmm.
In one of the sidings that's down behind there, I can now run nicely a 4-5 car set.
Well, hi there, hot dog pilot Andy.
So I can make them look like a realistic length, so to speak. You know.
Yes, these are Austrian. These are ÖBB, Österreichische Bundesbahn, OBB, the Austrian Federal Railways. And they can be operated by either the Austrian Federal Railways or the German, which is Deutsche Bahn, DB. And so these are the ECs. I rode in these cars 2023, last year, June, from Stuttgart to Salzburg. Yeah. But then we took a rail jet from Salzburg to Vienna and Vienna to Bamberg.
So since someone's kind of converted me to back to European, I was looking at the region and where I'm going to model it, and obviously I I had to try to get my railjet back here, and while I had that, I said, well, I might as well go Austrian. But now I've got to get it back again somehow, because this engine that he's left behind, it just won't cut. It cut the mustard. I'll get the bastard back. But yeah, I'm happy with this, and I've got to say, this one
bought
here,
Pico. What can I say? You bought Pico.
compared to the Pico carriage, this one runs nicely.
Yeah, I mean, again, Pico is for those that don't know, we're saying Pico, which is Piko, as opposed to the UK company PECO. Pico is a German company that makes, actually, they're an old East German company that's now part of Germany, but they make 3 levels of product, and there are 2 higher ends. They're collector and professional, are really good stuff. Their hobby level is, the locomotives aren't that great. I mean, they're fine if you're going to have a simple loop. They're like nice beginners getting into it where you're not going to do anything. But anytime I bought a Pico hobby level locomotive, they have not been very good over a few months. They're okay for running on the flats and running short circles, but pulling longer freight. Now I've got a Pico Austrian or Czech railjet, which is their collector's level, which is their top level, and it's a really good runner. But yeah, when Pico makes a cheap one, it's cheap. But Pico covers the gamut. They'll have Austrian passenger cars or any country's passenger cars for $25, and they're going to be very lightweight, cheap, all plastic, etc. Or they'll make nice ones that will be anywhere from $40 to $70. But then Märklin, for example, that one I just had. What did I do? Miss it? Come on. Like this Märklin one, which is lit up, this will go for close to $100.
Yeah. I'd like to get another set of the actually, since the Pico's got them, I didn't even think about that. Because I would like to get another set. Only thing I noticed with the Pico ones, okay, we're using the European. I've still got the European coupling on it.
Yeah.
For some reason, the Pico ones, they always seem to dislodge.
Yeah. Again, Pico's cheap plastic couplers, which they put on their lower price point stuff. Yeah, they're crap. ESU, for everything else, ESU is credited for. Their couplers are crap. I swapped them out. I swapped my Pico couplers out. Rocco and Märklin, their couplers rarely, if ever, fail. Every now and then they do, but
yeah, because as some of you know, I had to miss that with the railjet that got swapped over. I did break a fair few of those Pico couplers on it, and I replaced it with the Rocco ones. I don't have any problems with it.
Sean Ricard, I didn't know you swung that way.
Yeah, well, he is Danish, and look where
you just stop right there. He's Danish, and
and
that explains it. In fact, that we're going to make that a phrase now. When anything's just a little off,
it's Danish.
The playing field, we'll just say Danish.
But there will be a nice set. I would like to do. I am considering getting a Hungarian set because I do run into Vienna, Austria.
Hungary's got some nice. Their national passenger coaches are very sharp. They've got some really sharp liveries on their locos, and their ECs are pretty sharp. Poland really has some very nice modern livery for their intercity Eurocity cars.
Yeah. Valley, that's why you use the blue tablets. That's why you use the blue tablets. The dark blue, not the light blue tablets, the dark blue tablets. The light blue ones make you go crazy. The dark blue ones, they make you happy. But, I I looked into, so that's the way I am heading, basically from Vienna down towards the let me get it right, going down to the east and southeast. But I have actually noticed that there are services that are going. Okay, Eric, no problem, buddy. I know it's
Good night,
late.
Eric. Take care.
There are some that are heading down to Slovenia and down into Ljubljana, down to the southern region of Croatia. But the Croatian railway system really needs to pick up its game. So we can actually start seeing some of that stuff down at the seaside. Now, let me just get it back on the.
Yeah, come to think of it, I don't even know how far east the rail jets go. I know the rail jets will go up into Hungary, down to Slovakia, but I don't know how far they go into the old Yugoslavia. If they go into Bosnia, Croatia, Slovenia.
Well, I'm gonna show very shortly a video that's from Bosnia, and no, yeah. I have two exhibitors after me. Leave the country. That's the best solution. Just leave the country. They'll never find you. I have not seen the layout. I have not seen the line down to Bosnia since 91, 92. G'day, Papa John. And
Hey, Papa.
To what I saw in this video, it's really, really let go.
Mm-hmm.
Serbia has invested a lot of money into it. But then again, the EU has also gave them a lot of grants as well. Now you can actually go from Budapest down into Belgrade in 2 hours. Where once upon a time it was like a 4 or 5 hour trip. But they've redone the whole line. But they're not just that was the first line they done, and they electrified it. So now you get the Hungarian trains, we get the rail pool, we get basically all the stuff that's on his layout is actually now gradually working its way down into Serbia. Now they're working on the branch lines into the main centres, and where they have the main factories, like you have Zrenjanin, which is a main part. It'll be like Toledo to Detroit, sort of thing. Detroit's your main centre. Toledo will be the branch off. That's the same in that area too. But they're doing the track and line all the way up to Mum's hometown, and I'd really like to get over there and have a look. I touched a sheep fence once. You shouldn't be peeing on the fence, that's going to give you a buzz there, Andy.
Well, the fastest, I had to look this up. The fastest train I'm finding from Budapest to Belgrade is a 6-hour train ride.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, can't see that being done in 2 hours. That would have to be like one of those Chinese 700-mile Magna trains.
Hey, who knows? You don't know what Siemens are working on. I mean, look how fast the tourists that they got on the railjet. Look how fast they can do. What was it? It did a record of 250 kilometers an hour or something.
Mm-hmm.
With the engine. And that's fast. G'day, John C&D. How are you? Now, don't pee on electric fence. No, of course not, Valley. No. That's great, James.
Fastest I've been on a train was an ICE from Hamburg to Berlin, and we got up to 280 kilometers an hour.
That's about as fast as what I traveled on the Acela.
About 160 miles an hour, I think.
Yeah. The fastest I've ever been on a train was on the Acela. Possum Bio, how are you?
Rusty.
But I would like to go on the TGV from Paris down to the south of France there when I get there.
Because those get up to speed, yes. Those get...
Yeah.
330, 340 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I would like to do that. One of these days, Joyce and I are going to just bite the bullet and travel.
Well, apparently a friend
spend June or spend some time in France. But we just keep adding places. Like I said, you planted a bug in Joyce. She's like, yeah, she'd like to go back and see the other part of Australia, the other part, the northern part, up towards Adelaide
and up through that way,
that area. But and while we're at it, maybe we stop off and spend a week in Fiji or something. It's like all my life I've been like, I don't want to go tropical. I really don't want to go anywhere tropical. Now she's like, oh, we can spend a week in Hawaii or a week in Fiji and then go on to Australia.
Fiji's not.
I'm like, I've got all these places in Europe I'm trying to get to. Plus, we want to go back to the UK at least once more.
Well, it gives you more options. It gives you, what's his name? Well, you're not going to be bored. And as one of my uncles that passed away, just the last uncle that passed away, when he got in retirement, go and explore the world. There's so much to see. Go and see the things that you want to see. Instead of lounge around the home and right away at home. I mean, I'd love to get out a bit more. It's just just me at the moment. Like, I can't plan it. I just got to get out and do it, because if I plan it, something messes up. And the way the headspace is up here, I'm like, bleh, nah, I'm not doing it. Fiji is nice. I've got to say, I would like to explore a bit more of Fiji myself. One place I would like to go into Fiji, and I have mentioned this a few times on the video, on stream here, is I'd like to go to that island where they made the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks. It's roughly, I think it's about an hour or two boat ride from the main island to that island where they actually filmed it. And I'd like to spend a couple of days there and but you're in the middle of nowhere. You've got water all around you. I was at a dream cruise yesterday. Well, hopefully it was a better cruise than what we had up at the harbour. I mean, the cruise was nice. But for what I expected and what yeah, there's a lot of that in those islands there. I was let down. I was let down for what it was, specifically like the meal and for the view that we wanted. What we expected to get, we didn't get it. But going up the river, when we went up the river on the Parramatta River, I have not been up there for years, and just looking at the old areas that's built up. Like, there was one area I was saying to Dodge, Anthony and Joyce, and goes, that's Parramatta. Geez, that looks big. But it wasn't. It was actually right up near the where the Olympics was. It's just all gone big, bang. I had an invite from Paris, found a French letter with good one, Andy. Good one, boom, boom. And where the old oil refinery, that's all going to be revamped. But I haven't been around through there for a very, very long time. It's all right, Andy. It's all right. We had a bit of a laugh. And it was good going up. I enjoyed it. Now, I do have friends of mine. They'd be living here. Well, you didn't get to meet them when you were here. Jenny and Tibor, they're going to the UK on the 26th, but they're doing the Euro.
That'd have to be a miserable flight.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're taking a Euro tunnel and going up to Brussels. So And up around there, they're going to be taking the TGV. But I've got to call them later on to make sure they got their travel insurance paid up, just in case it doesn't run, because there's a lot of strikes still going on over there by the looks of it. But I'd love to go on the TG. That's one of my goals.
One of these days, one of our goals is to we want to go completely across Europe so far by train, just by the Euro Pass or the Euro Pass, the Euro Rail Pass, which gives you, for depending on class and how many days you want, you can have so many rides for $200-$300 per person for second class, but that might give you 15 rides on any of the high-speed trains. And then you pay a few extra bucks to get reserved seats. So you go in and say, I have my rail pass and we want to reserve seats. Okay, it's an extra 10 euros or whatever. Originally, we would have thought maybe going all the way from London, Eurotunnel into Paris, Paris down somewhere in southern France, maybe even down to Madrid, come back up and then go across and maybe go as far as Moscow. But I think obviously we don't need to go Moscow, but I would like to get down to Romania, Bulgaria.
Romania, Bulgaria, especially towards the western side, is reasonably nice, but you want to look out for the gypsies there.
I'm good with them.
Huh?
I'm good with the gypsies. We're good.
Yeah, so am I. They run for the hills. Yeah, that's what I was thinking there, Jean-Ricard. I was thinking that, yeah. But you know what happened to Wilson, don't you? He floated away. I would actually like to take a trip from Belgrade all the way over to Paris.
Yeah.
Just gradual, take it. Try to do the footsteps of the original Orient Express. Because the Orient Express used to come through Belgrade, but it also used to come through Budapest and follow all the tracks up through the mountains and up through into Paris. I've been to Paris and I don't like it. But it will be a nice trip to do. But then I like to do the other trip I like to do, where my uncles and all my cousins have done many times, is travel from up Hamburg right down to Rijeka or right down into Italy, near the Italian border, Croatia and whatnot. Croatia and Italy. That would be a nice little trip. It's a Battle of Britain here today. We
have the Pacific Air Show on this weekend. Oh, okay. That'd be cool.
Oh, okay. And Culiar Airport? Oh, geez, that would be.
Of course, the minute you say Hamburg, I'm immediately like, going to Hamburg, you have to go.
Yeah. Because was it last year? I was hoping.
Right.
Wanting to be there and just, I was going to go from there into Switzerland and Austria and then getting a night train from there into Rijeka to see my auntie.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't happen. But I still want to do that because it is a sleeper service from, where was it? From Frankfurt down through, or from where I was getting off at. And it would have been nice. It would have been a nice little trip to do. I'll get there eventually.
I've never done a sleeper train. We're going to do it when we go to the UK in 2026. I have traveled by train overnight, but we just slept for 6 hours in our regular seats, or tried to sleep. Joyce doesn't sleep all that way.
Yeah,
I did. I did for about 5 hours.
Yeah, Todd, that is one of the trains I would love to go on to, because I love the mountain railways. And a lot of the railway modeling that I do,
that's another one
by them. And it'll be nice. And I like to do it. I wouldn't just want to do it in the summer months. I like to do it in winter. You get two different views.
Yeah, I would agree. Doing it once each time would be very interesting.
Nobody gets murdered. Well,
On the Orient Express, yeah.
Well, with that said, Valley, yeah, yeah,
Bond, James
options
Bond.
are open. But if it's right, the actual Orient Express originated from London, didn't it? And then it went all the way down to Istanbul, Turkey, if I remember correctly.
Paris to Istanbul.
Paris to Istanbul, that's
or
right,
even
yeah.
Amsterdam to Istanbul. But
Yeah,
I think
that's
the
the other
official
one.
was Paris to Istanbul.
Okay, now with my layout, I what's going to
Wow, Marty, only 370 feet above the house. Yeah, C-17 flying over your house. Yeah, it would rattle the house a bit.
Marty, you know what they were doing? They were checking out, seeing who's got the best barbecue going. That's what they're doing. They go, right there it is. They got a big barbecue. We're going back to there. You know,
Andy, hot dog pilot. Yeah, but I hear you got to watch out for the pirates there.
I'd like to go on the new line that's going from Rijeka up to the mountain, of course. That's been realigned. It doesn't spiral its way up the mountain like it used to. And I'd like to have a look at that. That was one of the things I want to have a look at last year. And it's like a lot of the Swiss lines. The Gotthard, near the old Gotthard line, near the Gotthard Tunnel. It spirals back against itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the same train, I think, about 3-4 times apparently, as it's climbing up the mountain before they've done the big long Goddard Tunnel. That is one of the things that's on my wish list. Hopefully, things settle down, I can get over there and make it. Now, on my layout here, as you all know, I'm heading the passenger train system. And
hello, Dave.
G'day, Dave. How are you? Now, okay, I'm going to have the main station scene here, like a central station, and above my head here, behind my head here, it's going to be interchange. And that's good enough. I mean, you're going to have platforms on it. But a station scene, platforms take up a lot of real estate. As you know yourself, you've got 2 there. Mm-hmm. You got Darmenhurst that you've done, which is a really nice one. Then you got the other one on your right that you've done as well.
Well, that was a kit. The one I have on what I call the Bremen Hanover side is not the station that's going to be there. That station is actually down on the UK, but I've got to paint that, which I've only been waiting to do for 2 years.
Good night, Dally.
And good night, Chris. I'd like to 3D print some appliques that I could put on it to make it look more like the Bremen or Hanover station. And I just not having any, I can't 3D design. I can print. I've got a 3D printer. I just struggle in the design, even going over to something like Tinkercad, just translating how thick do I want it and blah, 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 all that jazz. It's just a little bit beyond my capacities to understand the design aspect of it. I just, for all my genius, it doesn't work in that realm.
Well, there's always been a joke amongst when it was former Yugoslavians, but even to this day, there's always been a joke about the Bosnians doing things the Bosnian way. And I'll tell you what, for the way they do things, what are the Bosnian style? I'm getting to that now, Todd. I'm working on that now. Like they say, you can't run steam trains in modern day era. Guess what? You can. They still got the old World War II relics still running down in Bosnia. Now, I've got my fictitious spots on my layout where I want the trains to stop, but I'm thinking about the platforms. After watching this video, from this guy. Go and check his channel out. He is from Bosnia, by the looks of it. There's not much information on him, but he's got some fantastic videos, not just in Bosnia, but in other parts of Europe. And he's even given me an idea of one of the tunnels that I want to do here beside me. And it's an open tunnel. So I'm going to show you both of it. Now, the Bosnian platform that I saw on his, I don't know whether it's a train driver or a photographer. But let me get it up and I'll show you his video. Go and check him out. He's got some fantastic videos. There is a link in the description if you guys want to have a look at it. Now this is going from a place called Doboj to Banja Luka, which is to the northern part of Bosnia. Now, I have not been in this neck of the woods since 1991. It is a long video, but I'm not going to go for the whole 2 hours. I'm just going to go show the clips of it. Okay. We'll go to replay. Let me just mute the sound. This inside the... Now, this engine is based on the Danish model. So, the Jean Ricard, maybe you know about this engine. Maybe you got your name scrolled in there somewhere. As you can see, that's the unit inside. A quick walk around. This is it looks very similar to the 1043 that I just got recently. Gives me an extra inch. I don't care. Wow, Andy, just don't walk up Oxford Street. Now, this Doboj used to be a very nice station, very busy. There's a controller, so that looks like inside this engine. And it's a red one on the right. Hang on, let me just pause it there for a minute. Yeah, that's the engine on the right there. It's still, as you see, it's got a lot of resemblance to the engine I just bought, but I mean, to get looking right, accurate, I mean, I've got to change the headlights on the front, and if you see that little thing up the top, it's actually a cooling vent that actually brings it in and sucks more air into the capacitors and inside the engine. It's actually got explained in the description in this video. But yeah, I can't get over how run down the stations are over there when you look at some of the others. And this is giving you a map view of how he goes. Novi Grad is close to where my uncle and where I spent most of my time at, Novi Grad. So Banja Luka is not far from where Banja Luka is like a main city. It'd be like Cleveland. Well, not Cleveland as such, but importance, should I say. It's an ACERC type. Yeah. You'll be more accurate with the models there, Jean Ricard. I just gone by the looks, quick looks, and it looks all right from the distance. Color scheme is very similar. That's good enough for me. Good night, James. All right, I am going to, while she goes out, it's actually quite interesting. They do stop at some railway crossings, but then some crossings also act as platforms or stations. Um, Beautiful mountain area here. I have spent a lot of time in these mountains and hills, more that you see in front of him with heading out west. Um, Near Novigrad, that's where I went for my first ride on the steam engine, which was the Class 52 steam engine. That's why I would like to get a hold of one. When and how, I don't know, but I want to get these Austrian trains while I still can get it. Now, look, you can even have weeds and grass on your track, according to these guys. So, you know, when you're doing your scenery and you end up putting grass and weeds. Good night, Thomas. On your ballast and your track, and you think, oh no, I can't do that because it's not real. Look, you can do it. It's real. All the things that people say you can't do, you can do. But yeah, I have never seen, when I was there in 1990, 1991, you didn't see this much. You never didn't see any weeds or grass growing out from the ballast. Now.
And good night, Tammy and Ray.
Good night, Tammy and Ray. Good night. Now he does stop just a bit ahead here somewhere. Let me just pause it for a minute. I think it is.
You get, your previews there. You get out to the country out of this region here, and it looks like all of a sudden the tracks are clear and look fairly proper, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, well, the main line, you can see which one gets used a fair bit. Of course, they try to do some maintenance, but it'd be really nice to see them invest some money in this region here. I know that a lot of parts are still struggling since after the Civil War that ended up happening, but we're not going to get into the politics side of it. But I mean, people are still struggling in some parts. There's signs of it. The government is actually, the countries are still struggling in some form. Now, I believe he stops just up the right line here at one spot. I don't know. He does have an information there on the bottom left-hand screen. No, he does stop in another station. Let me just pause it for a minute. Let me just...
Because, you talk about some places that haven't recovered. My students and I were on a train in Eastern Germany between the towns of Dresden and Cottbus and then Dresden. We left Berlin, stopped off at Cottbus, and then we were going down to Dresden. And we stopped at the small little station right before getting into the Dresden area. And we were stuck there for a little while, and then we pulled out and then had to stop and wait for another train. But while we were pulled out, looking on the sideline, we were in this region of East Germany that was heavily depopulated after World War II. And one of my students said, "Mr. Dodge, come here." And I went over to the other side of the train and looked out the window. He's pointing. I'm like, "What's that? What happened there?" And it was this old farmhouse with 2 barns and some various sheds that was bombed out, and clearly was bombed out from World War II.
Yeah.
And it had been sitting there. Nobody had ever bought the property. You could look off in the distance and see where the land used to be agricultural and now has just gone back to wild. But the hints of having been cultivated was still there. But it blew my students away because, I mean, somebody could have walked right over there and used it as a World War II movie set because, I mean, it was just exactly like what you would expect to see. But it was also kind of tragic because this was a home that, at the time it was 70, 75 years earlier. And well, about 70 years, because I think this is around 2014. Yeah, it was 2014. It was 10 years ago. And it was really poignant to see that this whole region was once highly farmed and cultivated, and it's abandoned because the people either fled the Russians, and nobody else moved in.
So here's one little platform here.
It's only the wheat's holding it together.
There's one little short little platform. Doesn't have to be very high. Doesn't have to be very long. Doesn't have to be very fancy. So there's one there.
Unless you're Andy.
Pardon?
I said unless you're Andy. He needs the platform to be of a certain ability.
It's only the weeds holding it together. Well, that's it. Yeah. Green profile. Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, that's right, John. So as you see there, I mean, there's not much of a platform there. It's only about, what I would say, that's probably about 24 inches thick, that concrete there, if that.
Yeah, if that, about 6 foot wide.
Yeah. So I can get away with what I intend to on my layout, but if I go further into this video, well, you'll need stilettos, Andy, to climb up there, I think, being a short fella. But I don't believe you're short. I think you're nearly as tall as Anthony there. So quick stop. But looking at the stanchions on the side for the catenary, to replicate that in my future layout, I would be able to use the German stanchions because they're very similar.
Yeah, I was just going to say those. I can think of at least 4 companies that have kits that basically produce those, as well as somebody I just saw who picked them up 3D printed off of Thingiverse, and it's identical.
Yeah. There's a lot of little sheds like this. I think it's a bit further down here where he stops at, and there's no platform at all. You basically just walk off the side of the carriage and onto the bed, really. I'm trying to find, I should have saved it in that spot, but a lot of things were going on here this morning, so it might be here or is it a bit further down. Let me just have a look. Because that woman, because that, it's about here somewhere. Hang on. Sorry, people, I'm just skipping ahead. So there's another platform there, and it's not very high. It's not very long.
Very similar, well, identical to the previous one, just not as weed covered.
Yeah. But it's somewhere up here is where he stops, and there's no platform at all. I think it's a bit further down. So sorry, people, I'm just skipping a little bit. I know it's around about here somewhere. Where is it here? Oh, here we go. This is it here. All right. So, it's coming. I think it's this one here. There's just no platform. See, there's your station. So go figure. So with with a couple of spots where I intend to have the station. I've got one already, which is near the rail yard. I don't have a platform. And going by this, I don't need one. All I need to do is put a little shed there. And there's a couple more of these.
Yeah, buy one of those little Fowler small bus station bits that looks identical.
Yeah.
Little bus shelter overhang.
Yeah. I mean, I love the greenery. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the greenery, but yeah. And he's got another one or two more stops like that along this line here. Someone along here actually stops and picks up a lady that's on the platform. So that's the Bosnian Style Station, folks. That's a normal platform. So I think it's the next here. That's not much of a platform there either. So as you can see, it's going to be reasonably easy to sort out the
station.
Is that the station or the public convenience? Bit of both, Todd. But yeah, if you look particularly after here, there are some more stops that he's actually doing like that. That is actually stations. Now, you got to remember back in the Civil War, when they had a civil war in Bosnia, there was a lot of fighting in this area, and a lot of things did get damaged and destroyed. And I'll stop sharing that. And the other thing is a lot of infrastructure they want to add, but they never did, became a popular spot. Bang, we're just going to, obviously, we need a station here. We're not going to spend it. We'll just get the train to stop there. And like in a lot of European trains, Todd, and particularly in former Yugoslavia or in Bosnia, they got the old German style carriages and they all got steps and they can actually, your first step's usually big, but it's not that big. You can actually climb up into it.
Yeah, I've gotten off at small stations to change trains to transfer, and some of them, definitely the modern trains and the ladder, there's still a little bit of a gap. You got to kind of hop, and a little old lady, you got to kind of help and reach her over a bit. Yeah.
So, mate, instead of investing all that big money, which it is beautiful countryside, it is. Yeah, it is hard, and yeah, it is towards Novi Grad, between Banja Luka and Novi Grad. That's where the fierce battles were, and even this area here between the Serbs and the Croatians, there was a lot of fighting here. Serbia moved on, but a lot of parts around here. It's almost like when we went to Goulburn, a place that's been forgotten. If you look at that video, and he's got some more in that region, he's got some fantastic videos. There's just so much to go, and the cab views too. They still got a lot of the old railway, the warning signs and the signages from back in '78, from when I was there, and we're now what, 2024. You know, nearly 40 years later, they still got the same signs all around the place. If you do go there, it is worth, if you do ever go into that area for a visit, it's worth going down and have a look. And just go for the train ride. You're not as flashy as what we have here or in Germany or up in the north, but hey, they're doing what they have. Those trains are only two car long, I think it is. He's got a sunrise view as well, which I haven't looked at. Now, where one of the station scenes, so using his concept of what's in Bosnia, I can actually do that in, let me have a look. is there by where that little car is at the front.
Mm-hmm.
That's a station there for me. So I can actually adopt the, because
Yeah.
I've got the passenger train stopping here in front of the camera to let off people on and off before the train goes in the shed. So there's one. Now, this is now down in the bottom. Now, let's see. Down where that curve is here, I like to do the same thing there to do one of those type of stations in here. There is going to be a proper one at the top, this spot here, but I don't have to go, the platform doesn't have to be so wide. Up on this top area here, I want to do a European theme where I have the music festival in Austria up in here. So this will work out pretty good. The train will stop there to get people on and off. And of course, we have the station on the bottom for the people that are too lazy to climb up the top. Oh, now, let me change the view from here. I think it's this one here. Okay. Now, that far double line in the back corner. Let me. Let me do it. The one that's right in the far back corner, and that's elevated. I want to do another station platform there. I've got to put another camera in there. But I want to put another short platform in there because I'm actually using that in my automation. I'm using that as a station stop. And if I do adopt that style of station platforms, that's going to cut down a lot of construction time to do my scenery.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you thinking of like doing a design in 3D printing?
I haven't got a 3D printer.
Oh, okay.
At this stage, I'm trying to get most of the things done, and then get the printer. Of course, the European rolling stock that I'll get, they're not really cheap, so I'm just trying to grab them because there are some stuff that they are going to discontinue, but I want to grab a hold of them because, particularly in that class 1043, I want to get at least another one, maybe two more of them. Because as you see, they are very similar. They're not accurate, but they're very similar to the train that we saw in that video.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I want to at least get another couple of them because one that looks sexy with those carriages, it looks really. Let me get the camera on that.
Well, you'd have a little luck, like if you wanted those exact locos. I know Pico for sure, not guaranteed this year, but they make some of those. They had some Slovenian, which I think would be very similar as well. Because it's all old Western European stock that went east, especially after the breakup of the Warsaw Pact. Let's just put it that way, and all those countries becoming independent there in the 90s. And it was just cheaper to buy the stuff that the Western countries, especially Germany, was getting rid of. But yeah, you could find those locomotives rather quickly or use what you've got that is similar. But Mahano would be another company to look at.
Yeah. See, look how sexy that looks with those carriages. That little 1043 with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just looks nice. It's nice with it. It's not a big engine for it. And I tell you what, she runs nicely. Now, I know Lipper's got them on special at the moment. They still got some left, so I do want to get another order in, at least the engine for this week. Hopefully that's not going to drop, stay. Um, I do intend to get get at least one more, because it's a pretty cheap price. I do want to get one more of that. But I see Lipa has got the first class and the cafe car, the dining car for the Austrian set, but they don't have a second class. And if we look at those sets on the videos, they usually just have the one first class and one buffet car, less the second class. So if I can do that, and that's a 4-car set, and have that, and it's beautiful length.
Mm-hmm.
And that back siding there, that like it'd be basically the first passing lip as you're coming down from the far end. Using that size carriages, I can go 6-car length. Right, and it'll fit in there nicely. If I do the scale size of Rayco, I can only get a maximum of 4 or 5-car lengths.
Right.
And most, okay, I can get away for a 5-car set, but when you look at the Rheingold and some of them, they get up to 9 cars. You know, but there's ways around it. I think it's nice that you give them the station that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to, Richard. Like, I haven't to what I wanted. I don't have enough on my layout. I haven't got enough room to do actual industry on it, like coal mines and that. So throwing in a station here and there, that'd be the fun part. I was thinking about getting rid of that. Well, when I got the first passing loop to take out that one turnout, but I'm going to leave that now. I just want to get on with it. I just want to. What's the word? Finish the track work.
Okay.
I want to finish the track work. I mean, the next one here at the moment, I'm still waiting to get the okay from the doctor and the physio. I need to drop this down. I need to drop that down. And once that's dropped down and I put the other station line up, the new line up, that's my track work done. The wiring for the new track that goes from here to the station, that's already prepared. All I've got to do is just hook it in. But passenger trains, it's a service. It's like for Europeans and even here in Australia, like on the East Coast, between here and Sydney, it's passenger services, and it's you can have fun running them. Like, okay, they do, but they're gone pretty. The one dealer where I got them from in what's his name? In Chicago, because I bought something else from him. So he had those carriages, and so I grabbed them. He only had one left. He had all the other one in. Apparently, that's in the shipment that's coming in now. But the Rayco's nice. I really like. I mean, I think they'll be the next step down from Markland. Good night. Okay, Dave. Yeah, we're going to call it quits here soon too. I just want to get the track work done and get to the scenery. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, because Maryland has a set coming out, or it's been released and sold out. I lost track of it, of the OBB coaches. You know what you're showing there, 3-car set. And
now I did see that Rayco has got a digital set out that's got the diesel OBB with the
yeah, they've got.
So if I can't get the second class ones are the hard ones, are the ones that they sold out at Lippers already sold out the second class.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put in reservation for some more later, but I want them now. But if I go to get that set for the price that he's after, I'll get the diesel version of the OBB. I don't know how good they will be on the incline, but I mean, I've got the diesel version as well. And I did see that in the video at Vienna with it pulling those passenger coaches.
Right.
And getting an extra engine with it. As long as it works a lot better than that Pico one that you swapped out on me. So
let it go, man. Let it go.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, that night jet will look good though. Yeah. Got my Conrail C39-8 back. Oh! Fortunately, it came well.
Yeah, except they got left out in the rain. Speaking of which, Andy, the hot dog pilot, I got your other set today, so hopefully I'll box it tomorrow and take it to the post office Monday and get it posted to you.
Ouch.
That was less than rain, but I got it quickly.
You're lucky. I'm lucky with the guy that does my postal from Australia Post. The stuff that I get from him, he now knows not to leave it at the front. He'll just take it at the post office. As he left one package on the front and I lost it. Particularly with the school kids nearby, and these school kids are not your good ones. These are the naughty ones. $400 worth of trains gone. I never got my money back. And it was Australia Post fault. I could have gone and taken it up. They know it's a bad area. But now we've got this new guy turning around and told him, don't leave the parcels out here because they can be worth up to $3,000-4,000. A little white, but, you know, I don't want that going missing. At least you got the right address.
Our thing is, like they used to put it inside the door. If the package would fit inside the door, they would put it inside because we have screen door and then main door. But they were having times to protect it from the rain, but they'd leave the screen doors. They want to get the screen door shut tight, and you'd get wind and blow the doors open, and people had their screen doors blown off. So none of the delivery companies will now put them inside the door.
Yeah, well, see, our guy here, look, he now delivers straight over. If I'm not home, like he'll yell out because I told him, look, knock on the door and yell out because I'll be in the back room working. So just yell out and knock it all out. And he does that. The mailman, like you get the little electronic sachets, and they're not cheap either.
Right.
He was leaving them in the front letterbox. And I said to him, look, don't put this in here. It's got on here, see? Do not safe drop. Take it back. It's got electronic components, and that little parcel isn't cheap. Oh, okay, but now that he's gone to another area. Lippers sent stuff over by FedEx, and I tell you what, that's a brilliant service at one way. As soon as I get notification that this stuff's coming from Lipper and it's in the FedEx system, all I do is do the pickup from the depot, which is on the other side of the hill at the temple. With me having it diverted there instead of here, I'll get it first thing in the morning because their delivery guy won't come here till after 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So I can go up there straight away in the morning, pick it up, and do my chores.
So the American shops have them in. The new OBB.
Yeah, he's only just got them in, so I've got to get it from. Is that from?
No, this is America. This is Renaud's. Has these in. The three. American had just released these. These were, but Lipa apparently has sold out of them. But the Americans get them a month to 2 months later, So they've got them in stock. Price is not awful. I would have gotten it for about $10 cheaper, but
yeah. Well, see, that's where I got the stuff from Raymond's. That's where I got these ones from. And I've actually got another parcel on its way from him now. Well, he's got the label printed. Let's put it this way. He'll probably send to Chicago for the next week or two. We better send this off. That's the United States Postal Service, not them. They will send it off in time. But yeah, I've got something coming out from them. Andy, you're on fire tonight. Stilettos, and they've been pimped out. Oh God, oh man, I think it's getting time that time of the night for him. The wife must be out of town. I think they're Anthony. With it talking like that. Yeah. Oh, what can be wrong? Just that Andy. Andy Clapp. You remember Andy Clapp there, hot dog pilot? I don't know if you had Andy Clapp over there in England.
Andy Cap.
Andy Clapp, that's the one.
Yep. Oh yeah, he was worldwide. I think he.
I had a whole series of his cartoons. He was funny.
Indeed.
Oh, here he is. We can go now. I always laugh when I see Anthony Dodge.
Well, there you go. I am made to order. Although, for as long as you've known me, Heath, when you see MTO, if you're still thinking made to order, I'd worry about it because it's been Model Train Outsider for 6 years.
How are you doing, Heath? So, yeah, I've got a few things I'm going to get done on this layout now. And as I said, the track detection part and all for the automation. This side up here is all done. Basically, everything, all the wiring is done for the block automation.
Well, good.
Next lot of wiring I've got to do is just do the harnesses for the turnouts. That will take a bit of time. I can work on that and get ready for the signaling. I've got a large amount. I've got a lot of that stuff for here ready to go. Now I can do once I get the top section going, I can do the operation, fine tune where I want things to stop and start, and put my what do you call it? I can start putting my signals into place. This is where I want it. It's going to take a bit of doing, but hey, I've got the good thing is I've got all the bits and pieces here. Majority of it, I don't have to wait for too long. I've been collecting it as I can. It's not something where I can go out and just spend $600, $700, $800, $900 here and there.
Not anymore.
I'll grab that. I'll just put in the storage. I'm going to need it. I've got to catch up on a lot of other people's streams too. I'm still between, as I said, even with you, Heath, I'm sorry I haven't been into your streams lately. Things are just flat out at the moment. It will be flat out between now and sometime in October, maybe even into November. F-22 Raptor.
Now everything's on the floor.
So obviously the C-17 said there's no barbecue at your place, Marty. Just keep going. Man, I still can't get over that. When first time I flew into Hong Kong and I was up the front seat and we're going past the skyscrapers and it's like, hey, look, what are they having for dinner? Oh, they're home. You can literally look in the skyscrapers. More hot dogs. So, yeah, it would be a struggle for me to meet up in a lot of people's streams. There is a lot of videos I do need to catch up now and walk out. I think I'm probably about 5 weeks behind. But
I tried to catch up while we were in Australia, and I just gave up. I was just like, sorry, guys. If it came out while we were in Australia, I can't catch up.
Oh, jeez. Okay, Marty. Well,
I'm even.
when we have the air show here, I'm lucky because I get to see a lot of planes flying around here, and they're in a holding pattern, waiting to go into Albion Park. So I get to see a lot of them up here. And that explains why there was a lot of old planes going up north from Albion Park. But with that said, it's been great catching up with you. Thank you again for Anthony for coming in and co-hosting. Stuart, by the way, is up the top where you first became my co-host.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I sent him up there, but Stuart's got a buddy here that I've got to catch, that I've got to get it and take him up there too this week.
Well, Stuart was too shy to come out while we were there.
He did come out.
That's true. He came out that one night. You saw him. We never saw him. We heard him, but we never saw him.
Well, he got his dates mixed up because I told him he's got to go away, not come back until after you guys left. So he's got his dates mixed up.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I really didn't want to wake up and see him anywhere.
Well, you would have had a nice threesome anyway.
I knew you guys were kinky down in Australia, but that's too kinky.
Yeah. But he was happy up around near Randall's corner. Not Randall, Pixie's corner. What do you see on you? Well, that too.
That's what Dave from Scott Rail in Canada just said. He's stopping all his live streams because he's on his live streams for so long, and he says it takes him so long to prep and then to clear up from his live streams. He's not working on his layout, so he's cutting back.
Well, just with me, like with my show, because I've been in a lot of pain these last 2 weeks, but this week was really bad. Later, Randall, we'll see you on the show tonight or in the morning. But it took me nearly, 3 weeks to take all the American stuff down and put them away. I was going to take some more. I didn't run my trains. Sorry, bad me. I'll leave them up for next time. But I packed a lot of stuff up because I know they're going to get wrecked. Once I start getting in the clearance, they're going to get wrecked. So I want to pack them up, put them away so they don't get destroyed. With this European stuff, I've only taken out a few bits and pieces. They're going to get packed away.
Yeah.
Because they're not cheap.
Well, because my stuff is permanently out except for a couple of things that are stored in trays down here. It takes me, all things, including doing a running check, it takes me at most 2 hours. I set the trains up on Wednesday, and that's usually about an hour. And then I come down at 2:00 to do another test run with the trains before I go live. And then takes me maybe 10, 15 minutes to make sure the cameras are okay. Because the biggest thing with the cameras, for example, is like if I have Kai in here, he likes to run around and he bumps the cameras, and or the cats go under the table and they'll snag the wires and pull the cameras off. So I just have to go around and set them. But again, less than an hour there and about an hour to set the trains up. Sometimes it's an hour of thinking about what trains I want to run before I actually get them out. But once I actually start putting them out, it's 30 minutes.
What I would like to do is once it's done, have the sets up there and ready to go. All I will end up doing is eventually is like the ones that are up the top here, they'll start from the bottom. And the ones that start from the bottom ends up the top and just switch them around. And
10.5 on the card.
Yeah. Are you on 11 hours until? No. I'm gonna get going in a moment because there's things that I need to get done here too, John.
Might be playing tennis when he's on. No.
Yeah.
No, it won't be playing tennis when he's on. I won't get Joyce moving that early.
Yeah, no, don't beat her up. No, don't do that. I mean, it was bad enough you beating it last time. Look what happened.
Well, we wanted to go out in the boat, but the conditions on the river aren't going to be good enough to go out.
Well, if you had the boat here, just have some sails. We'll start in Shell Harbour, put the sails up, and you can.
No, it's our kayak. It's our inflatable kayak. We traded in our hard shells and bought an inflatable tandem kayak. Which is really nice. It's really nice. It's actually rated up to level 4. You can go whitewater rafting in it up to level 4, category 4 rapids, which is pretty good. But it also comes with a removable rudder that you can attach, or so that you can do kayaking.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Flat water or smooth water, as they call it too. Flat water or smooth water. Kayaking, so you can go out on the lake or river. That's what we do. We just slow paddle up and around the river, different parts of the river, and but it was windy today, so the river was choppy. Plus, we had rain, and tomorrow it's supposed to be a bit windy again. So we'll see what happens.
Iceberg proof too. It's not made in the UK. Remember, the Titanic was built in the UK. That's why she sunk. But I got to say, I'm amazed, like learning about the Sydney Harbour Bridge that was made in that steel that was made in the same factory as the Titanic. It's the one that it's still standing after the Titanic sunk. Yeah, I'm bad. I know we're bad.
The construction of the Titanic was fine. It was the design that wasn't good.
I suppose design, but they did fly on the floor. I think they were saying they did fly on the floor of the steel too on the Titanic.
It was the way they did it was the design, the way they did the rivets and set up the bulkheads.
Yeah.
It was designed for a puncture, but not for a long rip.
Yeah. But unless it learned. Have they learned anything? No. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits because I do want to get a few things done. Again,
Quitter!
I'm no quitter, really. But we're going to give it a break. I think people had enough of me today, and you and me. Throw a $500,000.
Oh, people have enough of me at about 3 seconds in, but that's a different story.
We can never have enough of you, Anthony. I'll have the trains running next week, hopefully.
Exactly, Andy. Exactly. Not much is going to survive a 500,000 ton of ice thrown at it.
No. Actually, my physiotherapist wants me to get into the road, and I go, well, the problem is I've got to carry the kayak. My shoulder says no. So if he carries it for me, I'll go do a bit of kayaking down here at the lake. So anyway, till next week, we got Andy tonight or tomorrow morning.
Or tomorrow afternoon his time, right?
Or tomorrow afternoon his time.
Sometime on Sunday if you're anywhere away from Australia.
Well, it would be Sunday here. It'd be 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, that's right. You get it at night, right?
Yeah,
right.
I'll get it
Sunday everywhere.
So I mean, he does such a good show. I mean, he puts me to sleep. So funny about me.
No genre card. As long as you got a mirror in your house, the nightmare will never end.
Mirrors? Oh yeah, it won't. No. Imagine his neighbours with all he's storing. Oh God. But yeah, definitely what I'm going to end up coming up and meet up with you, Jean Ricard. Actually, that guy that I shared that video through, he's got the link. He's actually got you on video while he's got the border on video between Germany and Denmark, the big iron bridge. The trains are coming across.
Yeah, we'll be going across that, but that's another story.
Yeah. So, guys, time to go to lunch. Yeah, that too, Marty. Until next week, everybody, have fun, stay safe, and bye.
Bye.